video back. He's all fixed up.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Yep, so hopefully it won't be too noisy on our videos anymore. We are going to look for some seat covers for it. Buying a whole brand new seat is very, very, very expensive. Seat covers are expensive enough, but especially on the driver's seat, it's just falling apart on the back. And at the mechanics, they said that they have one and theirs is falling apart too.
Just the driver.
Yeah, just the driver's seat. Well, it gets the most used.
You know, the rest of it's in pretty good shape.
Yeah. Yeah, for a 20-year-old car, so that seat has, you know, seen some use.
It's got this fat bottom in it.
We're using the GoPro Hero 8 today. Hopefully we're in a shot. We're both in here because there is no front screen, so I can't see if we're in it correctly. Guess we'll find out, won't we? All right, let's go get seat covers, babe.
Still noisy.
Yeah. It's a diesel truck.
It's the beast. It's an old diesel. It's not the new quiet ones.
I like that it sounds and rides like a truck. I don't like those wussy trucks that drive like a car. What's the point? So we'll see how stabilization is on this because this has got little bumps in this road. Skies are looking pretty good considering what they've been the past few weeks. Thank goodness. I was getting really tired of smelling smoke.
It's supposed to come back tomorrow.
Darn it. I don't think I'll be buying any smoky flavored foods for a while. I've tasted enough smoke for a while. Where we bought our batteries 5 years ago to see if they test them or not.
The truck batteries.
Right, the truck batteries. Yeah, not the RV batteries, the truck batteries. And check and see if they do any testing on them. Tom doesn't feel like they are working to their potential, so we're going to go check that out. Still a little hazy in the area from the fires in California. It gets worse throughout the day. In the morning it's usually not too bad, but then it starts getting yucky later on.
See it right there.
Yeah, you can see it towards Reno. So we figured while we were there we would also inquire about tires for the truck too. Might as well get everything all spick and span, brand new, working good before we hit the road at the end of the month.
Tires on the truck are 5 years old, almost 6. Actually, they are 6 years old.
They still look pretty good, but you can never be too careful with that. Well, we're back at TNT, and not because of anything they did or didn't do.
We went to Les Schwab. They checked us out. They said there's nothing wrong with the batteries. There's plenty of cold cranking amps and all that. The batteries are fully charged. There's not a thing wrong with it. However, you have a cracked cable on your positive on the passenger side battery because we got dual batteries on this puppy.
Yep.
And I said, oh, yeah, that's right. I kind of played dumb, but I remember that from about a year ago, it being loose. And so they don't replace them. They only do automotive.
Yeah, just cars, passenger
cars. They don't do diesels because of the way that it's wired up. So
complicated.
we brought it back here to TNT, talked to Nick, the service manager, showed him what it was. He kind of shook his head and he says, yeah, we got a special order of those things because the way that they sell them now, they don't even make, they just don't, you know, on an older truck like this. But it's the cable that goes from the positive over to the other battery, then all the way down to the starter. So it's like a 2-hour job to get it completely fixed.
Yep. So,
I said, oh well, order it.
So I'm glad that we came back here, because Les Schwab recommended going to the dealership, and as much as we can, we do not go to the dealership. So I'm glad that, well, hopefully they'll be able to get the part.
If I'm gonna spend money, I'd rather spend money at someplace local like this.
Yes. Yep. A definite mom and pop operation.
Yeah.
So, and friends. So that's another bonus. So
there you go.
there you go. There's the update on the batteries.
We'll wait
on
to
the
hear
truck.
from him.
Yep.
He's gonna call.
Plus, I got to come back and see the puppies. They have a great big Rottweiler. His name is Blue, and then they have a healer whose name is Diesel, and they're so sweet. Well, we told you that we would go through the invoice and let you know every little thing we had done on the truck and even how much. So here we go.
So what the boys at T&T Automotive, we went to them and we said, top to bottom, tell us what needs to be done on this truck, because I know it leaks like a sieve. It's an old Ford Powerstroke. It's 20 years old. There's leaks in the front. There's leaks in the back. I may have taken a leak in it myself at one point. Who knows? But we know it's full of leaks. So what they ended up doing was a complete engine reseal. They removed the engine from the vehicle. They resealed the front timing cover. They replaced all the oils, of course, but they replaced the oil dipstick. They had an adapter kit that went down into it. The oil pan had a leak in it that I've been patching for the past 4 years almost. What's the red goopy stuff?
I don't know what it's called.
But I've been
magic red stuff.
I've been patching it up because the dipstick is so big, it goes down and it turns to get into the oil pan. So they resealed the oil pan. They resealed the oil cooler, the high pressure oil fittings, new supply lines, replaced the rear main seal. They resealed the rear of the engine. The entire cover was resealed. New glow plugs, injectors, especially number 5 injector was bad, but all new plugs. The internal harness, all the harnesses were redone. Gaskets, new turbo up pipes. They resealed the exhaust manifold. They installed, of course, they went back and reinstalled the motor oil and everything else. They added new fluids, filters, and every fluid in it, transmission fluid, the axle, what is it called that they do for the axles? They checked for leaks in that. But everything was drained, resealed, and put back in. They installed a center bearing and brand new U-joints for the rear drive line. They balanced the shaft. They replaced the sway bar and the sway bar end links at the drag link at the pitman arm. If you know what that is, I have no clue, but it's here. There it is, and we paid for it. They set the alignment. They straightened the steering wheel because the steering wheel has always been cockeyed. It hasn't been, flat. And now that it's flat, it's kind of hard for me to drive it because for all these years I've been driving it with a goofy steering wheel. They also resealed the front and the rear differential covers. Of course, they added new synthetic fluid to both differentials, additives for the rear. They replaced the transfer case fluid So line by line, do we want to go and tell them how much it was, or just give them a final cost?
You give them a final cost.
Okay, so the front timing cover gasket set, engine oil cooler reseal kit, an oil pan dipstick adapter kit. They did all the gaskets, the front crank seal, the rear main seal, the EBP sensors, the ICP sensor pigtail connectors are all new. Elbow for the high pressure oil fittings, they did all of those. They replaced the high pressure oil lines, both of those. The EBP tubes were replaced. The ICP sensor was replaced, and I believe that's the one that leaked that we were talking about. The O-ring on it cracked, and it started leaking oil, and we had to take it back to him. And we thought it was going to be something major, and it's a $6 part that they just went ahead and replaced again for no charge to us, and didn't charge us for taking it back in. And that was what, 4 hours?
Yeah.
And it wasn't really a 4-hour job.
No.
It took them 15 minutes. I had to wait in line, you know.
Right. Yeah.
So they did that. The fuel injectors were completely resealed. New O-ring sets, IPR reseal, internal wiring harness assembly completely redone. The valve cover gasket set, the glow plugs, the exhaust manifold gasket set. They did complete turbo up, the up pipe kit. They used gasket maker silicone sealant, which I think is what I used to patch the oil pan when it was leaking. I think that's the stuff what it's called. Of course, we got a new oil filter, brand new fluids, new fuel filter. They took out both fuel filters, the one upstairs and the one back in the tank. New coolant, antifreeze, I drained it completely, everything new back in it. They replaced the center bearing assembly. HD U-joints were replaced. The lower radiator hose was replaced. The upper one was in perfect condition, so they didn't have to do anything to it.
Yeah, we had that replaced a few years ago.
Yep, and he said it looked like a brand new one, and he asked me if I had done it recently, and I said, no, it's been a few years. New sway bar end link kit, new tie rods. They had to replace those completely. Let's see here, what else? Is that it? Is that everything? Mm-hmm. And then, you know, just the other things. They added some friction modifier and some additives to the fuel and the oil and things like that. They did a hell of a job as far as I'm concerned. I had earmarked between $10,000 and $15,000 for a complete rehaul on this truck, and was very surprised when they quoted me $5,000 for everything that I wanted done. And the total cost came to $5,999.52. You know, he went over by $999.52, and to me that's chump change.
And for once,
compared to what I had earmarked.
I was surprised because a lot of times your labor is like sky high, way more than your parts. This time, the parts were more than the labor, so that was pretty cool. And then there was a $7.50 hazmat fee for the disposal of whatever.
Yeah.
But not too bad. A lot better than we had planned for.
Like I said, I planned for a chunk, you know, $10,000 to $15,000 to get it done. And we were going to drive across country to a Powerstroke specialist on the east side of the country, around the Atlanta area.
Yeah.
Virus shut us down. We didn't end up doing it, and then we found this place, lo and behold, in Reno, because she knows the owners.
Yeah, so my girlfriend that I've known since we were 9 years old, she posted something on Facebook about it, about the shop being open. And so I messaged her and said, do you guys work on, you know, Ford diesels? And she said, oh yeah, it's our specialty. And I said, great. I said, when we are in Reno, we're going to come to you guys. So that's what we did, and that's how we found them. It's somebody that I've known since I was 9 years old. So that's why we went back to them again today regarding the batteries, the battery cables.
Pretty cool place. T&T Automotive Incorporated. I'm going to link them below. They didn't, you know, pay for anything on their own or give us anything for free. We paid out of pocket for all this. But they did a heck of a job. So if you're ever in the northern Nevada area, the Reno Sparks area, you need some diesel work done, especially on a Ford Powerstroke, those are the guys to take it to.
Yep, they have Fords of their own, so
yeah.
they know about it.
In fact, I think he's got one identical to this, except it's not a dually. It's
Right.
a 2000 7.3 350, not a dually, and he loves it to death.
Yep.
So, but we're happy campers. Oh, I'm sorry, we don't camp. We're happy fifth wheel livers full time. So there you go. There's the wrap up of our truck fix for our Ford F350 dually 7.3 that's 20 years old, that now should last us at least another 10, 20 years. So it'll be her truck here shortly.
Thank you so much for watching.
If you guys like the video, give it a thumbs up. Make sure you share it out with your friends. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. Click the bell, get notified every time we put up a brand new video. We see you every Saturday morning with our Saturday coffee chats. And then on Wednesday or Thursday, we throw something else up.
All right. See ya.
See ya.